My bad. Here, I'll
It's
get rid-
okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn. We are celebrating our 31st anniversary. We're coming to you live from Yavapai College. Yavapai College is one of our sponsors, along with our title sponsor, Mercedes-Benz, as well as our other sponsors, Linda Goldenstein Gallery, the Kling Family Foundation, BMO Bank, Talakapaki, and all our restaurateurs, hoteliers, and volunteers who year after year come to this festival to help us and donate rooms and food. It's just been an amazing festival. And we're also known as the Filmmakers Film Festival, which we love. And joining me now is one of the filmmakers. Please introduce yourself and your film.
Yeah, my name's Kristen Wolf, and our film is Parker in the Green Dress.
Okay. And is this your first time in Sedona?
For the festival, yes, but no, I've actually been here many moons ago.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to hike the trails around here and had a few friends, and I live out west, so it's always a go-to.
Where are you from?
Originally from New York, and I've been living in Colorado for the past good number of years.
Quite a transition from New York to here.
Yes, I actually need both. Like,
Yes.
I travel back and forth between them very frequently, Manhattan and Colorado. It's wilderness.
Yeah.
Manhattan
Both
is
of yeah,
wilderness,
yes.
and Colorado is wilderness, just a different kind.
Right, one's a concrete jungle.
Right, exactly.
And the other is
exactly.
beautiful green. I mean,
exactly.
Colorado has the greenest green I've ever seen,
Yeah.
and it is just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Yeah.
It is. So is Sedona. The color scheme here is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
breathtaking.
It is. It's magical.
Yeah.
It's magical
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And I hope we're treating you right.
I would like to say if I can just extend thanks on behalf of so many filmmakers, because we all talk as we move to and from events, and this event is spectacular. The amount of care, consideration, and detail, especially toward the filmmakers, is exceptional. And we cannot say thank you enough.
Well, we love having you. And,
Yeah.
I was just telling a filmmaker previously, for us, it's amazing because year after year, we have filmmakers that come back like time and time again.
I bet.
So we begin to have friendships and relationships with them. So it's like old home week when we
Yeah,
see
that's
everybody.
so cool.
And then people are like, we're coming back next year. One person told us that they were doing a film. They actually came here and then did their second film up on Airport Mesa.
Oh, no kidding!
Because they got all
Wow,
inspired.
they location scouted. That's really cool.
So they're like,
Yeah.
we're coming back.
Oh, that's so great. That's
Yeah.
great. I can believe that.
Yeah, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
we're so glad to have you here.
Yeah,
So tell
thank
us
you.
a little bit about your film.
Our film is about a queer teen who has dreams of taking her crush to prom, but she is out at school, not at home, and she's afraid of disappointing her grandmother, who's raising her.
And what part did you play in that film? Did you?
I was the writer-director.
Writer-director.
Mm-hmm.
So when you write something like that, is that coming from inspiration or from experiences? Like, how did that develop? Because it is something that happens quite often. We think like just because people like where we're at in our in our lifestyles and stuff like that, that we're able to talk about it. In some respects, people still can't talk about it. So what is your experience with that and the message that you're trying to bring to people?
Well, with the film was, it was, as with all, I think, everyone's ideas, I don't know, mind formed by multiple inputs that come in, and they just kind of, they get sticky and they start to cling to one another. So one idea that I had was I didn't get to go to prom for various reasons. Not unlike Parker. And so I was thinking about that. And then, strangely, I read this article about the memory centers in Germany invented these bus stops that were fake bus stops to keep dementia patients from wandering off. And I thought, instead of just, sometimes patients with dementia wander off, but in this case, they would recognize that bus stop and they just would go and sit there, so they didn't have to worry about people disappearing. And I was so inspired by that because I thought, it plays with this idea of truths and lies, what we share, what we don't share, what we tell one another, what we don't. And sometimes you do that in a loving way. Like, you don't share yourself because I love you. Like, Parker doesn't share herself with her grandmother because she loves her.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So I wanted to explore that, and those two ideas just came together, and that's how the idea formed.
Well, don't you think too, like, you know, someone like a grandmother who's very special and unique, and you don't want to disappoint, you don't know how the reaction's going to be, right? So like, you know, and someone like that, you're like, well, I don't know what their upbringing has been, and you just don't want to disappoint. You always want to be the, you know, the brightest star in their eyes.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
and especially in other cases because they had already suffered some loss, so it makes it doubly difficult to bring what you fear as another disappointment. But part of what I do with this film and other films that I've made is I don't need to relive the trauma. I want to offer hope. I want to offer examples of a positive outcome, of how things could be, not how they are in a lot of cases.
Yes.
So this is a perfect example of, without giving, like, the spoiler doesn't matter, but it ends with an example of how our lives could be, with a loving acceptance rather than an outburst and a, you know.
Right, right. And the title, how did the title come about? I'm always curious to find out, how do you guys
Such
like
a
name?
good- It's
the
really
films?
funny because it went through, as with many scripts that I work on, it went through several name changes, and it also went through some character changes based on the actors that we auditioned. And once you lock in on an actor, you're like, that's Parker. Happened to be a Latina actor. And so I switched and brought in the Latina family heritage for those characters. And Parker, I think when we watch the film, there's a misdirect at the end. So you sort of mentally need to be tracking the dress throughout. It appears once in the beginning and then not again until the end. So we thought, we should clue people in, like make a mental note about the dress and then track it, because it appears at the very beginning and then again at the very end in two different contexts.
I love talking to you guys because it's so interesting, like talking to filmmakers, because you put nuances in your films and they have meanings behind
Yeah,
them, and it's
of
not
course.
until you really like ask like about that, like
Yeah,
you really
yeah.
find out what happens.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So film, has it been shown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been around. We're kind of sort of toward the tail end, I think, of our festival run, and this was obviously a huge highlight and a really exciting surprise for us. So, yeah, it's screened a lot of places. It won a few audience awards, and it's generally done really well.
And then here at the festival, is it being screened again?
Yes, it'll screen today at 1 in short block 4, which I also just want to give a shout out to the other filmmakers in that short block. Some great films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shorts that
Yeah.
come in here that are wonderful
Yeah,
films.
and I also want to give a shout out to Joy, who programmed the short, because what I've noticed, I've primarily made shorts up to this point, and what I've noticed is a really good programmer knows how to package it so the block itself is its own narrative, and Joy did that. She took you on a journey, and there was all these common themes about sharing between generations, like intergenerational wisdom exchange, and not just from older to younger, but also sometimes from younger to older. And I was like, oh, and issues around memory and aging, and those wove a thread, like a narrative thread through our block. So hats off to Joy. Just wanted to give her a shout out. It was beautiful to watch.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
You're so
coming
welcome.
to the festival. Just like I said, you have to keep coming back because
Yeah,
it's
right.
our family.
I have to go. Apparently, I have to go scout a location.
Yes, you have to go sit on top of Airport Mesa and
Right,
download
right.
whatever is going to come in
Exactly,
there.
Exactly. Right. I'll look for that.
That's right. I'm counting on you for
Yeah,
that. So, and don't forget to follow us on social media. We are coming to you live throughout the day on Facebook, and also follow us on social media with Sedona Film Fest. And we'll be back with more filmmaker interviews.